This is you, or someone you know or care about who is struggling in their life. And these are the steps you've taken along the journey of your life, which has brought you to today. Each of us has lived through our own ups and downs, experienced moments of great happiness and joy, but also times of great darkness and sorrow. We are who we are today because of our journey through both kinds of experiences. But sometimes, events in our lives can be so traumatic, so damaging, that we lose focus on our place in the world and on ourselves as well. Picture this. Inside each of us there are 4 rooms: a physical room, an emotional room, a psychological room, and a spiritual room. These rooms are at the heart of who we are, and if we want to live in harmony, we need to visit each of them every day. This can be extremely difficult for someone who has endured a heavy burden of trauma in their life. Why? Well, let's take a closer look. This is the spiritual room. In the beginning, this was a comfortable place for our friend here, somewhere relaxing and peaceful. After years of struggle and hardship, however, it's become a place where our friend comes to hide, too fearful to open the doors to the other rooms. Now, why is that? The answer lies behind the doors to the other rooms. This is the physical room, where we come to process the things that have happened to us in the physical world around us. A person who has endured a traumatic experience might not be able to face what's happened, let alone try to understand it, and so they pack the memory away in a box and pretend it's not there. But once this habit begins, it's so difficult to stop it. Because we haven't processed the traumatic experience, this room gets backed up with so many more unprocessed experiences, none of which can be faced until the original trauma has been understood. Many people have no idea how to open their boxed up experiences because they fear what they might find inside. The next room is the emotional room. This is where we come to understand our feelings and attach them to the events that created them. However, when we start boxing up our physical experiences, we lose sight of the connection between them and our feelings, making it harder and harder to know how we really feel about anything. At this stage, many people turn to unhealthy habits like substance abuse or violent behavior in order to feel something again, even though these feelings aren't genuine. The next room is the psychological room. This is where a person raises questions related to their life experiences. For someone who has boxed up a traumatic memory, this is where unanswerable questions start to get asked. Questions like, why did this happen to me? And why didn't somebody do something about it? These are questions that have no answer, yet many people who are struggling become fixated on asking them, unable to accept that there is no answer, that the questions themselves are what's preventing them from really understanding the truth of their life story. And this brings us back to the spiritual room, where, as you can see, things are getting worse for our friend. The cracks in the walls are growing as the weight of the unresolved traumas grow. We want so desperately to believe that there's nothing wrong that we begin to live in complete denial of our suffering. So, how does this process end? Is it even possible to stop it? If so, where do we begin?